Hey guys, watching this college game. Haven't done one of these in a while. So yeah. Oh, a long day. It's tiring today. Florida and Miami. Florida looks like crap. Wow. Ooh, Florida. Yeah, that's like crap. I'm tired. There's nothing going right today. It is what it is, though. Wow, Brock Lesnar squad scene. Wow, what a terrible decision. It is terrible. Like Brock Lesnar, a lot of people, like, I don't even know. But, they want to say, oh, well, I'm glad he's back because he's Brock Lesnar. Yeah, it doesn't matter what people do. And as long as you're good in WWE, they don't care what you are in your personal life. Like, freaking, people still defend Vince. People still defend Hulk Hogan even though he's dead. Like, Hulk Hogan died. Okay, fine. He changed wrestling, but it doesn't mean he's a good person. But, Brock Lesnar, piss boy, even though I'm fine, I'm glad he's back, but just squashing Cena. This is how you're going to make the go out. There you go. In that thing. But yeah, been a long day today. Got a notification of stars, the Blues scored. That was preseason. Like I care about hockey. Yeah. Arkansas is terrible. I want to die, and the Broncos lost Greenlaw because they don't want to manage right, and yeah. Man, I don't know what to say. Looking at Miami right now, they're killing Florida so far. Hold on. Man, it's so boring. I don't even know why I did a hangout. I'm just bored, I guess. No, I'm just watching this Miami game. They're beating Florida. Florida's terrible. Napier's done. He's dog shit. You know, Miami's better. I don't know what that was by Carson Beck. Just threw an incomplete pass. Boy, that was a terrible opening match. And WrestlePalooza. Like, what was that? They're gonna waste John Cena's days and he have him get squashed by Brock Lesnar. Okay. Oh man, I'm glad Brock Lesnar. I still don't like the guy though. I don't care. John Cena. They're just gonna waste him away. It's the last few games. All right. Oh boy, I'm walking outside. Boy, I know my weekend's gonna get ruined tomorrow because the fucking Broncos play the Chargers with no Dre Greenlaw, no Evan Ingram. Dre Greenlaw, they could have just put him on the IR and could have just waited, and we expect them by week 5. But no, they want to wait until 2 weeks when you wasted 2 games, and then you put him on the IR. Now he's out for the next 4 games, so he won't play this week. He won't play tomorrow. He won't play next week against the Bengals. He won't play against the goddamn. Um, he won't play against the goddamn Eagles or the Jets. So his window is when they play the Giants, and that's just bad management. Remember John Cena, man, boy, this has been a terrible day. John Cena getting squashed. Fucking who else? Arkansas blowing another game like they normally do. They're becoming the new Nebraska, except they aren't a blue blood. Then what else? Like what else? Jerry Greenlaw on the IR. Like I'm tired. I don't know what it is. This is awful, man. It's a terrible day, man. Hey, Jordan. How do you feel about KC tomorrow against the Giants? I mean, I expect Kansas City to win, obviously. What about you, though? Oh, man. God, I'm so tired. Grilled some burgers today. I decided to smoke them, you know. I'm just having a break I'm just at Publix and Oh, okay. Nice. Keep doing your work, bruh. Get the money. Hope you be all right. Man, I'm not gonna lie, man. Sometimes I miss being a kid. I'm not even joking. Because, bro, like I had freedom. Like, now, I barely have time on my hands. When you were a kid, really the only important thing you had to do besides obey your parents was to go to school. Man, because, when I was little, those summer breaks were actually cool. I didn't sleep in, but I used to play my game. Sometimes I played basketball because I had a goal in my front yard. Let's see here winning against the Giants, but it's going to be ugly win because they always like to give opponents close all the darn time. Yeah, I know. I expect them. Look, I got a question. Like, I have a short day at work today. That's good. I got a question. If the Chiefs lose to the Giants, I don't think they'll lose, but if they lose, do you consider the Chiefs season to be over? Because an 0-3 start, I think even for a Mahomes-led team, like that's very, very concerning. I mean, the Broncos, they started 0-2 last season. They made the playoffs, but at the same time, too, they had a little luck on their side. Later on, I'm making me another burger. Because I had a smoked burger. I put it on the grill. Cheese, lettuce, onions, mustard, ketchup, and some bacon. I don't think I'll put bacon on this one, though. It is what it is. Hopefully. But Arkansas, man, they just pissed me off this whole day. They were up by 18 points and they choked. And they had the game won, and then they fucking, you know what they did? They fumbled at the goal line. I'm like, I'm not shocked. Next week they play Notre Dame. They're going to lose by 30. There's no way they're stopping that offense. They can't stop anything. It's not the scheming. It's just that these players are shit, all right? That's what happens when you have a bunch of 3 stars and just a few 4 stars on your team. Even Xavier Sorey, man, who's a 5-star recruit who went to Georgia but transferred to Arkansas. Even he looked like crap. He's slow. And Sam Pittman, he's got to go. Like, I'm sorry. He's a nice guy, but he's just like Brett Bielema. He's just like Bielema, dude. A nice guy, but he has that stretch. But, man, those one-score games, he's 7 and like 8, 15 and one-score games. How is that even possible? And only 7, I don't even remember the 7. I don't even know what were the 7 one-score wins they had. Like, what was their one-score wins? It was what? No, it wasn't Auburn last year because they beat them. It was they beat Tennessee last season. Oh. I don't even want to know. They beat Tennessee in 2021. They beat Mississippi State. They beat LSU. Mm-hmm. It would be concerning the Chiefs will be 0-3, but I would be surprised they make the playoff when they start. Yeah, it is. I can't believe Orange Blue. Like, really, they both. Yeah, man, it's the same fucking way. It's the same way. Like, dude, last week we lost to Ole Miss because of a fumble. Nobody could hold on to the ball. Now this week, same shit. Like, I'm like, I can't take this. How in the fuck? Like, people be like, oh, try being a Vandy fan, no, man, be an Arkansas fan. You're gonna see hell. Because how many times do you see, like, I'm going to say this, they are the Buffalo Bills of college sports, a team really with no prestige history, but they have teams where it's like, wow, they could be something with that. And they look like they do, but they always find ways to choke and fuck it up in ways unimaginable. Like, look at the Bills. 4 straight Super Bowls, and they lost every single one. That first one was the worst one because they literally were a better team. They could have won, but the kicker wide right. And then they lost to the Washington the next one, and then they lost to the Cowboys both times. Neither one of them were close. And now the Bills curse still lingers because how they play against, because they cannot get past Kansas City, no matter how good their team is. The 13-second shit, that's going to be one of the worst in Bills history. You could argue that's almost as worse as the 4 straight Super Bowl, because if the Bills would have won that, they probably beat the Bengals. I don't think Joe Burrow has a Super Bowl appearance if it wasn't for that. The Bills would have won, and they would have killed. In my opinion, they probably would have beaten the Rams. The Rams they couldn't have sacked Josh Allen. Because Josh Allen in the playoffs is pretty fucking good. It's just fucking it's either he needs to face their demons, which is Kansas City, because he lost 4 times against them, once at home, or he's going to have to try and avoid them. Like, if they face Baltimore, the Bills know how to take care of Baltimore in the playoffs, but mm-hmm. But it is what it is. Mm-hmm. Thank God I am not a Bills fan or Chargers fan, or else I'm really gonna go off and have a high blood pressure. Man, I have fucking high blood pressure off of fucking Arkansas, bro. Like, you don't understand. That's like being a Bills fan, except it's college. Shit. And it's like it's never gonna go away. We play the Chargers. I think we beat them tomorrow. I really can't stand if man. Fucking Justin Herbert. He's always a hypothetical, a what if quarterback. He's always, what if his coach? What if his defense? What if his fucking weapons? Like, bro, like, I can name other quarterbacks who have overcome those adversaries. All right. And Herbert last season, I thought the Chargers were actually gonna win, and they fucking got blown out by the Texans. And the Texans' offense and offensive line was awful that season. But Justin Herbert throwing 4 picks, which is more than he's thrown all season. He threw 3 interceptions last year. And one of them was against the Broncos. Fucking Chris Abrams' dream picked them off in LA. The Broncos have got to figure it out now that Dre Greenlaw's out for 4 games. Thanks a lot, Sean Payton. Seriously, you could have just put him on the IR to start the season, and he would be ready against the Eagles. But nope, you do this. You drag it out for 2 extra weeks, and you finally say, "No, we'll just put him on the IR," which is just flat out dumb, and that's just bad mismanagement. I don't even know. But it is what it is. Hey, sniper. Hey. Oh, man.
Well, I do not want back-to-back weekends where it's just my sports team just say like go to hell, because the Broncos did it with their stupid. I blame more Will Lutz than that fucking leverage call. All right, the leverage call fine, but fucking I blame more on that on Will Lutz. If he fucking makes that 40-yard kick, then we wouldn't. Then you're pushing the Colts to make get a touchdown. And to be honest, I know that defense sucked last game, but they wouldn't have given up a touchdown. Shit, they should have stopped them on the field goal. But like I said, I can't stand the Chargers. But the worst of all is Justin Herbert's sexual that are not Chargers fans. Yeah, man, like I'm so sick of it's. It kind of reminds you of like what Miami fans are to Tua. They be treating Tua like he's this god, this messiah on a pedestal. I'm like, bro, like I said, Tua, he's not good. All right. And then Justin Herbert, you can say, oh, he's elite. He has that big arm, but it doesn't matter if you don't win a playoff game. He's literally 0-2 in his career in the playoffs. He blew a big ass 27 to nothing lead. And then last season, you know, 4 picks, and that's more than he's thrown all season. Like last game, I agree with Sniper. Last season is more on fucking Will Lutz. Like fucker, like you just make your fucking kick, man. And he's been doing this a couple times now, where we need him to make a kick and something fucking happens. Like if I'm the Broncos, probably next season, I'm gonna have to scout a kicker, but. This fucking draft, man, I don't want to. Those first 2 picks better be a linebacker and a corner. I mean, not a corner. I'm dumb. I'm done. Linebacker and tight end. Because the linebacking is so fucking awful. Fucking just tired of fucking Alex Singh. I'm fucking tired of this fucker. And then people on Broncos Twitter be like, oh, where's Cody Barton? Like, no, man. He was fucking awful too. I don't know what the fuck you guys are. Mm-hmm. Alex Singleton, yeah, I know. I know the Chargers don't have a dazzly tight end. But oops, it is what it is. They don't have a dazzly tight end, and their running backs are whatever. But I am so sick of these two. And Dre Greenlaw, then the Broncos mismanaging Dre Greenlaw. Like I said, you could have put him on the IR, and we could have expected him against Philly in Week 5. But they wanted to wait, and then put him on the IR. I'm like, really? That's just terrible management. And that's not a good look on the medical staff either. I thought we were over this. Evan Ingram's not playing tomorrow, but I'm not worried about him at all. And the secondary is going to be challenged. Like, Luke Wattenberg. I mean, Wattenberg is a whatever center. Forsythe should not start. I'm still PTSD over that fucking block kick. But I mean, Wattenberg, he's a whatever center. He's not a anchor type center. He's just an average center. Like, I don't know what they're going to do at center. Are they going to keep him? I have no idea. But if they do let go of him, I don't care. He's better than Cushenberry, all right? I wouldn't pay Cushenberry all that money because he was going to suck. Because as soon as he left here, he got hurt. And then he didn't do that good against the fucking Broncos last game. So I'm fine with letting him go. I don't give a shit. But it is what it is. There they on. There they on ESPN his fucking ass. Damn, Lenora Sellers. Holy crap. Wamber's probably gone. Like, I don't know if they're gonna find like another center. because like, he's whatever. Like I'm not sure. I don't know what the plan's gonna be there. I know this fucking linebacking. I better not see Singleton get another contract. Singleton and Sternad gotta go after this season. I don't know about Sternad. At least if he can be a backup, I think I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine with that. But as a starter, just no. But Singleton's got to go. All right, I wouldn't give him. This is what the 4th season with the Broncos because he came in. What year did he come in? He came in 22, then 23, and then last season, and now this. No, last season he had his fucking ACL ripped off, and he somehow played through that. I have no idea how. But just now, man, it's just the linebacking can't cover these tight ends. Like we haven't had a good linebacker since what? Fucking Danny Trevathan. And you can say, oh, Todd Davis, but he was a little overrated. Like he was mid. And then, Kenny Young, Baron Browning was injury prone, and now Josie Jewell, who's slow, who was slow, then Singleton, who's almost as slow. Cody Barton, who's only good against shitty teams, and then Alexander Johnson himself. And then Alexander Johnson couldn't fucking catch a pick to save his life. But the way the Broncos can win is the trenches. They're gonna have to penetrate that defense. I mean, not the defense, the offensive line, because you can pressure Herbert. He throws a lot of bad throws. Keenan Allen's most likely gonna be on, Surtain, McConkey. McMillan and Barron are gonna have to cover him up, and then like Riley Moss. Hopefully, him and Quentin Johnston can get it together. It is what it is, bruh. Like the Broncos, we've been saying that the linebacker is a problem. I don't know what. I have no idea what Sean and George Payton. I don't know what Sean, George Payton, and Vance Joseph see in fucking Alex Singleton. Oh, he could tackle, and can he fucking cover a tight end? Hell no. Shit. And Alex Singleton is not a coverage linebacker. He's more of he's one of those run and chase linebackers, and I don't like that. And he's not even good at running chasing because he's slow. If the Broncos lose to the Chargers tomorrow, we might have to have a comment about waving the white flag. And I wouldn't say 3 games in, I wouldn't say that because last season we were also 1-2 in the first 3 games because we lost to the fucking Seahawks, then we lost to shit. We lose to the Steelers, and then we won the next week against Tampa. I don't know how we blew them out, but yeah. But then week 4, I know we can win that week 4. Browning's god awful. I don't care if he has all those weapons like fucking Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Chase Brown. And that defense the Bengals have is awful. Just hope Riley Moss is not as fucked up as the other one. That's the last time, when T. Higgins fucking beat him for 2 touchdowns. Wait, no, Higgins didn't beat him for 2 touchdowns. Yeah, yes, he did. Wait, did he? Did he? No, he didn't. He beat him for 1 touchdown, a game-winning touchdown, but he was getting butt raped by him, so yeah. Because the first T. Higgins touchdown, that was McMillan. I have no idea why McMillan was on that during that time, and I don't want to know. The Bengals have fucked over Joe Burrow, to be honest. No, I agree. He's really honestly looking like another Andrew Luck, a highly generational quarterback. And, people were comparing Andrew Luck, ironically, to what Peyton Manning was. But, he was taking the Colts doing good. But no. Their front office refused to get an offensive line, and it ended up costing him to retire. And what's crazy is that the Colts got an offensive line right after he retired, which is the fucked up part. And Joe Burrow, they want to use all that money on their weapons That offensive line in that interior is awful. Outside of their tackles, their interior is bad, and that's really the more important parts. And they don't pay their defense. Like their ownership is just cheap. Like a lot of these small markets, these small markets do not have like smart owners or good owners. Like what I don't even know. Like what small market like has a good owner and GM? I'm trying to think. Let's see. Because Carolina, Dave Tepper's the worst. What else? The Saints, like Mickey Loomis is fucking dog shit. I can't think of anyone else. Seattle, their ownerships, they're whatever. Cleveland, we all know Cleveland has a terrible GM, Andrew Berry, and then their fucking owner Jimmy Haslam is awful, one of the worst. The Jags have a bad owner. Fucking, they kept what's that dude named Trent Bulk, that guy, their GM, but they get rid of Doug Peterson. That don't make sense. Shad Khan is awful, for the Jags. Amy Adams Strunk is a cheap owner for the Titans. She's awful. The Colts, well, Jim Irsay, rest in peace to him, was he was a little cheap, but Chris Ballard is not a good, like he said, inconsistent GM because he can draft, but man, he cannot fucking sign Matt Ryan. Carson Wentz nearly worked, but shit. Drafting Anthony Richardson was a bust. But getting Daniel Jones is looking like a blessing in disguise, though. I'm trying to think. What else? What are some other small? Buffalo is a Brandon Bean. Brandon Bean is a good GM, and they ever since they got back to relevancy, they've been actually one of the better run teams. Miami Stephen Ross is dog shit. And that's really all the small markets. Oh yeah, I already said the Bengals, but those are really all the small markets I can think of right now. Ain't nothing the Bengals can blame but themselves. But it is what it is. Miami, I wouldn't say is a small. No, they're not a small market, but they do have a bad owner. They do have a bad owner, though. Some of these big markets have shitty owners as well. I mean, look at the fucking Giants. Giants are a big market because both New York teams actually. What the fuck? Like John Mara is a shitty owner, and then their GM Joe Shane is probably the dumbest ever, letting Barkley go but signing Daniel Jones. You should have did the opposite. Instead, you let him go to the Eagles, and the Eagles got another ring, and then that's your own fault. And in the Jets, we all know what Woody Johnson is. Joe Douglas was a shitty GM, and then Woody Johnson's an awful owner. Like, they traded for Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, and they didn't do shit. Let's see. What other big? We all know what Jerry Jones is. He's washed. And yeah. What else? Washington was a shitty ran organization, but getting that ownership by Josh Harris and Adam Peters as their GM, it actually fixed them up. Like that, I'll give Washington credit, and they're going to get a new stadium where they're going to be in DC, at the RFK field. So that's good for Washington. I'm glad they're actually looking better. What big market teams? The Chargers, like Spanos isn't really good. Spanos is not that good. He's not a good owner. Like for the Chargers, Spanos, he's not really because I heard a lot of Chargers fans, which is only about like 15 of them, said that he's not a good owner. So yeah. What else? Who else has a shitty owner? The Chiefs, no, their owner's fine. Their stadium isn't that it's outdated, but it is. Art Rooney's a good owner. They just have a bad GM for the Steelers. So the Ravens, Eric DeCosta is a very good GM. He's one of the best. Their owners are good. I'm trying to think. The Broncos ownership and GM has been doing a solid job so far. New stadium in 2031. Trying to think. Mark Davis, we all know that motherfucker is dog shit. And I love every fucking move he makes that shits on itself. Thank you, Mark Davis, and keep it up. Because fuck the Raiders. Stephen Ross, he was good, but he's whatever now. Trying to think. What else? Tampa's ownership's fine. Atlanta. Oh yeah, I forgot. Atlanta doesn't have a good. Arthur Blank is not a good owner, really. He's not really a good owner. The Lions have a good ownership. Minnesota definitely has good ownership. The Niners have one of the best ownerships in the league. Even though they haven't won anything, but they like Jed York. Jed York has been a good owner for the Niners, but not really. They haven't really won anything. They haven't won hey, I'm trying to think. Like the Niners, they haven't really won a Super Bowl since what, 95. Like the Niners, they have a good ownership, but they haven't won a Super Bowl, I think, since fucking what was his name? They haven't won a Super Bowl since Shaggy dropped Boom Bostic, which was 95. That's bad. The Rams have, Stan Kroenke's a good owner. He just kind of fucked over St. Louis. The Cardinals, man, they're mid. And that's really it on that. The Broncos, I would rank in the B level ownership and GM pairing, like in the B level, because let's be for real. George Payton, we all know he's made some pretty shitty moves, signing Randy Gregory, trading the Russell Wilson trade, signing Nathaniel Hackett, signing, what's the fucker name? I'm trying to think, re-signing Melvin Gordon. But that was an Elway move, so I can't say that. I'm trying to think, what else? There's more moves. There's some more. I'm trying to think. Fuck. I can't. Shit, I know there's one. There was, whatever. But yeah, that was the bad part. But he's made good moves as well, Getting Sean Payton, we won that trade, by the way. We definitely won that Sean Payton trade. Getting Bo Nix so far. But the problem is, they have to draft these offensive guys. George Payton's drafting's been good, but same time, you gotta. To be fair, the Pinner Group didn't own when the Broncos hired. Yeah, I know. When they traded for Russ, no, they didn't. That was still like the fucking dysfunctional ass, Pat Bolin's kids association. I am so glad neither of them are owning the Broncos. It was so bad. The Broncos one of the most dysfunctional teams ever. And I'm glad John Elway's not the GM anymore. Gifted that John Elway was good in his first half of his tenure, but his second half, man, terrible. Made so many brain dead signings, signing guys like Ron Leary, Malik Watson, drafting Monty Ball, like Randy Gregory, Jawan James. He could not sign an offensive lineman to save his fucking life. He could not sign an offensive lineman or even draft one. I guess the only one you can consider is fucking Garrett Bowles. But man, he could not build an offensive line to save his life. He couldn't fucking draft offense. He couldn't get a quarterback. He couldn't get receivers. Outside of, signing Emmanuel Sanders. Remember they signed that draft, that free agency class, signed guys like DeMarcus Ware, Talib Sanders, all those guys, and it was fucking awesome. But Yeah, George Payton, he's a better GM. But if it wasn't for Bo Nix and Sean Payton, like George Payton probably been fired. Like from last season, I know we weren't expecting anything, but 10 wins in the playoffs, like that was probably one of my favorite years. Like thank God. The only move I'll give away credit is firing John Fox. Yeah, man, John Fox, bro, man, that dude didn't do shit. He was literally just a clipboard holder. Like after that divisional loss against the fucking Colts, man, I was screaming to get his fucking ass off. Shit. You know, if the Broncos would have, if the Mile High Miracle never happened, bro, I think John Fox probably would have kept his job because, and that's one of the reasons why John Harbaugh still has a job because of that Super Bowl. Because I think, because we would have beaten the Ravens, then we would have been at home against the Patriots. You know, Brady literally never wins in Denver. Back when it was called Sports Authority Field at Mile High, go to name. And then in that Super Bowl, we would have beaten that Niners team. We would have beaten Harbaugh. But no, you know, Raheem Moore missed times to jump, and that bullshit happens. But one thing I'll give him the balls for, he at least admits it. Some player be like, it's whatever. Oh, I know. I agree. A lot of that talent, like fucking Manuel Sanders, Demarius Thomas, C.J. Anderson, you know, all these guys, Ronnie Hillman, even Julius Thomas, bro, that fucker was the definition of a Manning merchant because he chose money over legacy and he fucking leaves the Broncos and guess what? He stinks after that. I'm like, uh-huh. That's what he gets. Like, I hate those type of players. Like, if you want a Super Bowl but you want money though, like, what the fuck? Look at Myles Garrett in Cleveland. That dude is fucking probably the best pass rusher in the league. But he requested a trade, but then the Browns literally the Browns literally said, "Show me the money," and he fucking took it. I'm like, okay, he just doesn't care about Super Bowl. He just wants money. The 2012 Broncos, yeah, because that offense, literally nobody could stop that offense. And it's a shame the Broncos didn't win another Super Bowl during the Manning era. That we won one when he was washed. Literally 9 games he started through fucking 17 interceptions. That's crazy. That means almost every game he played, he nearly threw 2 picks. Just the fucking defense, just the fucking no-fly zone. It literally carried us to that Super Bowl, and it won us the Super Bowl. All paid Manning, we had to make him game manage, and that was, it was just embarrassing. Like, I just wish like the Broncos won more during the Manning era. He would have had maybe 3 rings. Like the only team that could consistently beat the Patriots during the time was literally the Broncos. It was literally a coin flip between those teams. But now, like every game with Mahomes, this is just what you expect. What do you expect, man? The Broncos, like this Sunday, hopefully they can beat the Chargers. All they have to do is just pressure Herbert, but in the secondary, the defense has got to be better. Like, I don't care. And this Chargers team, I'm really tired of hearing about LA. The Chargers, Herbert. Like, I'm sick of this shit. But, you know, the Broncos' kryptonite is that they literally cannot win in LA. Chargers, Rams, whatever. They should have won last year in LA, but no. They won it. They only scored, 3 points in the second half? And then LA ended up scoring 21. 2011, Tim Tebow. It was funny. That was a good little miracle run for Tim Tebow, you know. When he was with the Broncos, it is what it is, though. It was a funny miracle run. Like, I don't know how Tim Tebow, who was good, like arguably the greatest. I don't think he's the greatest SEC quarterback. I honestly think that's Cam Newton when he was with Auburn. But Tim Tebow, man, brother could not throw a spiral. It was funny. And then he tried to make an NFL comeback as a tight end. Oh my God. I couldn't believe that. A couple of years ago, you know, when Urban Meyer was their fucking coach. Oh man. It's just, you know, like all those seasons. Like, let's go after the years after the Manning era. Like 2016-17, like 9-7, but we were like 5-3. We were like five. We were literally like what 5-2 at the halfway point of the year, and then we just lose 5 out of our last 9 games and collapse. I thought we were gonna, you know, but fucking Paxton. Oh yeah, that's right. Fucking Paxton Lynch. That was That was the worst Elway move ever. Yeah, Paxton fucking Lynch. Oh my God. God, he was so bad, man. Couldn't read a field. He was slow. He didn't even give a shit about football. And he sucks in the fucking what? CFL, in the UFL, by the way. Oh my God. And then Paxton Lynch doesn't even be the starter. It's fucking Trevor Siemian, who's actually wasn't bad. He was actually a Pro Bowler that year, but he declined. And the problem with Trevor Siemian is that he was always injury prone. What else? The very next year, you know, that was the year with Kubiak, you know, still as the coach, but then he retired. And then the very next year, you know, Vance Joseph for his head coaching stint with the Broncos, and we go fucking 5-11. That year was terrible. Injury riddle history. I swear, I'm not even joking. Outside of that fucking game against the Cowboys when I was watching with my dad, I swear to God I can't remember a game that season. That season was so bad that I didn't want to remember, and I actually can't remember. I literally can't remember anything from that fucking 2017-18 season. Holy shit. I swear to God I can't remember shit from that outside of that Cowboys game where we just blew out the Cowboys. Then 2018-19, you know, Vance Joseph again. Case Keenum's our quarterback. But he didn't work out either. Every game he threw an interception, it felt like. You know, and we had the weapons. The defense wasn't bad, but the offense was just way too up and down. And then after 1 year, you know, we get rid of Case Keenum. I don't agree with that decision because fucking Elway trades for Joe fucking Flacco of all people. And that's worse. He should have just kept Case Keenum for another year. He had another year on his contract. But yeah. But it is what it is, man. 2016, like I mean not 2016, 2018, the Case Keenum year. We were like 6-6, bro. I'm like, bro, we're right there behind. I think what was it, Baltimore or such and such. We were literally right there for that fucking playoff spot, bro. They won Baltimore. It was somebody else. I forgot who was it. I think it was Indy. We were right behind them, bro. And then, you know, we were 6-6. You know, we didn't start out good, but you know, we beat the Seahawks the first game, but you know, we lost to the Rams because we couldn't stop Todd Gurley. Like, yeah, we could have had Josh Allen, but let's be for real, man. The way the Broncos were run during the time, we would have fucked. He probably would have looked like fucking Anthony Richardson over here. Like Josh Allen, he went to Buffalo and they developed him right by getting him the right OC with Brian Dable and such and such. But with the Broncos, like Rich Scangarello and such, like really, you know, like it was bad. Like we were 6-6. You know, I remember that game against the Steelers where we looked like we were gonna choke, but Shelby Harris, you know, it was funny. But then we just lose our last 4 games, bro. Like that Niners game. Like the Niners were awful that season. They had no quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo was out for the season with that terrible knee injury. And then we lose that game because George Kittle goes nuts. That's when George Kittle looked like George Kittle. Fucking lose that game 20-14. Only turn the ball, only getting 1 turn on that was when Darian Stewart picked off Nick fucking Mullins. Then we lose to the Raiders. That was terrible in Oakland. And then we fucking, the last game we lose to the Chargers, bruh. And then who was that other opponent that we lost to? Oh, man, it wasn't good. Was it? I think it was. Was it? No. I was going to say, was it Demaryius Thomas? It was. Yeah. We lost to the Texans off a fucking missed field goal by McManus. I'm like, oh, my God. And then there was 2019 fucking Joe Flacco fucking starting 0-4. We could have been 2-2. But, the first game against the Raiders, we sucked in Oakland. Should have fucking beaten the Bears. That time ran out. And then that wasn't roughing the passer on Bradley Chubb. And then against the Jags, we do the same bullshit. And then against the Jags, the same shit, not a roughing the passer. Oh, yeah, you're right. The Browns. You're sure right. Yeah, you're right. Oh, yeah, you're right. It was the Browns. Now I remember. That was Baker Mayfield. That was the game Von Miller broke the all-time Broncos sack leader with 99.5. That was awesome. You were right. That was the Browns. The Texans, that was a different game. My bad. That was a different part of the year. We should have won that shit, though, but, That was a different part of the year. We should have won that Texans game, but it is what it is. Yep, that was when the Browns were like what 8-7-1, no 7-8-1. They tied with the Steelers. That was funny. And then Joe Flacco, starting out 0-4. Then we beat the Chargers, and then we beat the Chargers. Then we get blown out by Kansas City, and then Joe Flacco. Oh my God, I hated that N-word, bro. God, I hated Joe Flacco. That dude he was so ass. Losing to the fucking Jags. The only 2 wins he got us for the Broncos was against the goddamn Chargers and the Titans when we shut them out. That was bad. And then against Indy, he gets hurt, and then Drew Lock comes in, and he took us to 4-1. The only loss was against the Chiefs, but that was okay. Like the game that we just weren't good in that game. But the 4 wins, against the Chargers in his debut, then that Texans game. Oh man, when we were blowing them out like 38-3, and then they stat padded and made it 24-38. Man, and Noah Fan had that crazy game. Oh man. Oh yeah, and we beat Cleveland that season, and then fucking. Oh man, Brandon Allen at quarterback, Cleveland that season in Denver. And then Minnesota, we fucking choked that game. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I said. I made a mistake. Yeah, that's what I said. It was Brandon Allen, Arkansas legend. And then, he beats the Browns. And then it looks like we were going to beat Minnesota. We were up fucking 20. Well, we were up like 20-0. And then we fucking want to fuck around. Then we want to fucking fuck around. And then we ended up choking the game. And then at the end, it looked like we were going to tie it up, but back-to-back, but straight-up incompletions. And that last one should have been a PI because that dude yanked on Noah Fan before that ball got there. I'm like, are you serious? That was the Minneapolis choke job. That was bad. And then the game against the Bills, Brandon Allen played like shit. And then Drew Lock came back, and then the rest is history. The Chargers, his debut, he did good. And then, Drew Lock, the Chargers, then that fucking Texans game. Oh, man, I thought we had our quarterback. He was fucking amazing, man. He threw one pick, but it is what it is. We molested the Texans that game, so I don't give a shit. Man. Boy, that was the time. That was like an underrated part of that season. It was the only really good part of that season, too. I'm trying to think. Oh man. That was crazy. Then, we beat the Lions in Denver, and then, we beat the Raiders. I thought we were going to blow that game. And then 2020, holy shit, what an awful year. Fucking COVID being around, fucking playing without a quarterback, literally. Holy shit. Like, I really don't even want to remember that season. Like, all the hype with Drew Lock. He played like shit against the Titans. Fucking Fangio. This is like Fangio refusing to take a timeout, man. Melvin Gordon's bitch ass. Like, we started out 0-4. Like, losing to the goddamn Titans like that. What else? Then we lose to the Steelers when Drew Lock gets hurt and fucking Jeff Driscoll has to come into this fucking game. Oh, man, what an awful time. Then, that time we beat the Patriots. Then we beat the Patriots that season. What? Oh, man, I'm trying to think. Hold on, give me a sec. Oh, man, the only 5 wins that season was the Patriots, the Dolphins, the Chargers, the Panthers, and fuck. I can't remember. Oh man, that season was so forgettable. I don't even want to remember. The Chargers. Okay, it was the Chargers, the Panthers, the Patriots, the Dolphins, and who the fuck else? It was an AFC team. It wasn't the Texans. We didn't play them that season. We already played the Titans. I feel like it's one of those AFC North teams. It wasn't the Steelers because we lost those fucking bitches. Can't believe we lost that fucking game. I can't remember. The Jets. You're right. The Jets. That was the first win of the season. Fucking Brett Rippin in this bitch. Fucking 3 touchdowns. I think he threw like 3 touchdowns, but he threw 3 interceptions. Was the funniest shit ever. That was the first win of the season. About fucking time. Man, that season was just. I'm sorry, Sniper, but that season was so forgettable. I can barely remember shit. Like, bro, I don't want to remember anything from that season. A fucking Saints game. Don't even get me started on this bullshit. No quarterback, and we still had to fucking play it. It was a miracle we even got 3 points in that game. But I'm happy for Kendall Hinton, though. Against the Raiders, getting embarrassed that time in Las Vegas. Drew Lock throwing 4 interceptions. Oh, man, that was such. The Bills, like, we literally got gashed. The Bills. We got gashed in that game because our secondary, there was no one in the secondary. Everybody was hurt. It was fucked up. It was fucking terrible. And then, against the Chiefs, like, the Chiefs, like, I don't know. The Chiefs, that just wasn't good, man. Awful. Then, I don't even know, man. I'm trying to think. What else? And let's get on to 2021. Oh man, trading for Bridgewater. We had this is the first year. George Payton was the GM. Trading for Bridgewater. We signed fucking the draft. We signed guys like Ronald Darby, Kyle Fuller, which we're gonna, and Graham Glasgow. And then the draft class with George Payton. Sertan, Javante, Baron Browning, Quinn Miners. One of the better draft classes, right? We start out 3-0. We beat the Giants in MetLife. We beat the Jags in Jacksonville. Then we blew out the Jets in Denver. And then guess what? Fucking 4 straight losses. I'm like, and it's crazy. Those first 3 teams were like the top 3 teams in the draft, the fucking next draft class. 3 fucking easy teams. Oh my God. And then we lose 4 fucking straight. We lose to the Ravens at home 23-7. We lose to the fucking Steelers. That game pissed me off, man. Holy shit, I hate losing to those fuckers. We got blown out at home by the Raiders. And then the Browns game. Oh man, this was the game where I was done with Bridgewater. Really, I was done with Bridgewater. I was done with Fangio. These motherfuckers. Ooh. No fucking Baker Mayfield. They had fucking Case Keenum. No Nick Chubb. They had Dearness Johnson. And we still fucking lose to those niggas. And then, we beat Washington. And then, we beat Washington, even though that game was ugly, trying to give the game away, Melvin Gordon. And then, we blow out the Cowboys. I think it's all simple. Shit. Fuck that crap. Against the Chiefs, the first time boy, man, that was bad. Losing to the Chiefs like that, losing to the Eagles, bro. Man, that Eagles game, I don't know what. That Eagles game was officially it with me for Bridgewater. Fucker couldn't make a tackle. And then, Teddy Bridgewater, he gets hurt. No. He played against the Chargers, though. He played against the Chargers. We whooped their ass. And then, Teddy Bridgewater, he gets hurt with a concussion. And then, he's basically out for the rest of the season. Drew Lock. And then we don't do shit against Kansas City. We lose to the Raiders once again. And then we lose against the Bengals. And then we finished the season 7-10. And then we all are wondering what are we gonna do at quarterback. Then, the big one happened, or as they say, fucking we trade for Russell Wilson, then we sign Nathaniel Hackett. And then after all that, we finally get a new ownership. Yeah, he did. He came back. That's why I didn't say that, because I know in that game Drew Lock came in, he fucking threw an interception. Lucky they didn't do really shit in that game. But then, Russell Wilson traded Nathaniel Hackett. We're all thinking, oh, it's finally over. Buddy, do I got a story to tell you. Because after that, then we get a new ownership. Yeah, money. And then we sign fucking Randy Gregory. Oh, my God. Then we sign Randy Gregory in that free agency class. Oh, God. And then we signed Then we signed, Alex Singleton. Well, that Bengals game with Drew Lock. Remember when he kept the ball, then he got it ripped away, and then the ball got ripped away again, but then the Broncos got it back and they said, oh, he was down by contact. I'm like, really, bro? Well, that Bengals game was awful. fucking, that was, oh, man, I don't even want to remember it. Fucking 13-9. I mean, not 13-9, fucking 15-10. 10. It was just bad. But what else? Oh, yeah, the Russell Wilson shit, man. We thinking it's all gonna be good, and then against the Seahawks, we were driving downfield, but nobody could hold on to the ball. Fucking lose because Nathaniel Hackett's bald-headed ass didn't want to call a timeout and go for it on fourth down. You could have just went for it, you know. I'd rather lose like that than off a missed field goal because McManus was getting past his prime during the time. And then, you know, against the Texans, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 countdown. That was so awful. Then against the Niners, you know, another shitty offensive performance, but the defense was carrying our ass. And then after that, man, oh, man, I don't even want to talk about it. No. Downright shit from Russell Wilson. Man, Pat Shermer was such a fucking terrorist, bro. I hated him more than he's one of my man. No, I don't hate him more than Hackett. Hackett was just man, I hated that motherfucker. And then Russell Wilson, I don't even want to talk about it. Then on Christmas, him getting roasted, losing 51-14. Like, oh man. Getting swept by the entire division, except that last game. The Chargers did that to themselves. I don't know why would they put all their starters in. Like the Chargers, like it is what it is. We beat them that game, but oh man. There's so many games, bro. Finished the season 5-12, dead last in the division. Didn't have a first round pick. Wait, yeah, we didn't have a first round pick. We didn't. Oh, and then the next draft class, you know, they get Marvin Mims, they get Riley Moss, and so forth. Because the previous one we had Nick Bonito, but Nick Bonito, let's be for real, he wasn't good. And then the next year, 2023-24, we thought it was going to be better. They got rid of Nathaniel Hackett, you know, and they traded for Sean Payton. They traded for Sean Payton, which was crazy. We all thought finally everything Russ was going to be fixed, but the first game, you know, against the Raiders, defense, like they couldn't stop Jimmy fucking Garoppolo. Offense didn't really do that good. The next game against Washington, they were up like 21-3 and they fucking blew it and lost 35-33. And I'm like, oh my God, nothing's ever going to change. And then, oh man, don't even get me started on the next game. The fucking 70-20 bullshit. But it's going to be a blessing in disguise because I'm going to explain that. Like, it's great. Because the 70-20 bullshit, the Dolphins ever since then has gone down while we've trended up. So that's karma in disguise for Miami for running their mouths to us like that. So don't anger the Bronco gods. Just saying. And then, you know, we beat the Bears looking like we were going to get blown out because we were down, 28-7 in that fucking game. But then we came back, and boy, you know, Vance Joseph, his stint with the goddamn Broncos as a DC now. Ugh. Boy, man, that year was so crazy. I'm trying to think. I agree with the karma in disguise in that 70-20 Miami. Yeah, karma works in mysterious ways, bro. Then against the Jets, oh God. I mean, wait. No, against the Chiefs at first. The Chiefs, that was just shitty offense. And then against the Jets, oh God, man, I wanted to win that game. Fucking Billy Turner's bum ass wanted to run his mouth, say, oh, Sean Payton's a fucking bum. Like, fuck you, man. You suck. And then, you know, the Jets, you know, Sauce Gardner and then Nathaniel Hackett running their mouths, and we ended up losing that game. I wanted that game. And it looked like we were going to win. But no, the defense, they just kept fucking with us, and we lost that game 31-21. And after that, we all thought, finally, they need to rebuild because John always, bitch ass, was half-assing the rebuilds, and his fucking ego getting in his way, to refusing to let the Broncos be built, thinking they could get all these old-ass Band-Aids. And then we traded Randy Gregory halfway through that season. Good, because that was an awful signing. I just, oh man, just so awful that year. So awful. 1-5. We all thought this was the end of the season. Like everybody needs to be traded. Guys like Justin Simmons, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy. All these guys. They had to go because 1-5, and we all thought we were fucked. But then we beat the Packers in Denver. Good play by PJ Locke to pick off Jordan Love in that game because I thought we were gonna lose. We were up 16-3 in that game, but those two touchdowns were bullshit by the Packers because the first one, Surtain had his hand on the ball first, but kind of goes to the receiver. I'm like, bro, he got the ball first hands and the feet down first. How is that not a pick? Then the second one, man, fourth down, they went for it. The ball was behind the receiver, went off his hands, and then ricocheted into somebody behind. I'm like, really, man? But we ended up winning that game. And then finally, against the Chiefs at home, we fucking laid belt to ass on them. And don't give me that, but he was sick. I don't want to hear it because if he would have won that game, you would have called him Michael Jordan. Like, fuck Kansas City. And finally we beat those fuckers. Man, I was so happy. That was my Super Bowl that season. I don't care. And then the next week, against the Bills, the crazy shenanigans, the fucking missed kick by Will Lutz, but the 12 men on defense saved us, and we won that game. We were 3. Then we went to fucking 4-5. And then we played Minnesota Sunday night in Denver, and we win that game by the skin of our teeth. And then, we're back at 500. And then against the Browns. Yeah, it's not the Broncos' fault. Mahomes had the flu. And then against the fucking Browns, Then against the Browns, we whooped their ass. We fucking killed that defense. The Browns, we whooped their ass. But then the very next game is what ruined everything because it was the Texans. We literally could have won that game. But Russell Wilson throwing 3 interceptions did not help. 22-16. Like, the defense did about as good, but fucking Alex Singleton. Yeah, I know that probably wasn't a flag, but you know how the pussy league is about these quarterbacks. And then, what else? Lost that game 22-16. That last interception by Russ, like, really? Like, we just scored a touchdown. We're literally winning that game, and we'll probably go to 7-5. But then the next game, against the Chargers, Justin Herbert gets hurt, and we lay belt to ass to that fucking dog shit team. But, against the Patriots, we fucking lose on Christmas. I don't know why the NFL puts the Broncos on Christmas. The Broncos on Christmas is like the Lions on Thanksgiving, all right? A curse. But, but then we beat the Chargers again after we beat bench Russ for the year. We benched Russ, and then I'm like, after we benched Russ, I'm like, yeah, this is probably the end of Russ, probably, guys. Then we, what else? We beat the Chargers, Jarrett Stidham, and then the Raiders lose to them, but I didn't really care about that game. And then that was the end of the season. We went 8-9. Another disappointing season. We all thought this was probably it. Like, what are we going to do at quarterback? Like, what are we going to do? Russell Wilson, we get rid of him. We trade away Jerry Jeudy. We release Justin Simmons. What else? We released Justin Simmons because that year we signed guys like Ben Powers and Mike McGlinchey the previous year, the start of the 2023-24 year. Ben Powers and Mike McGlinchey, it is what it is. I'm trying to think. And then 2024-25, looking at quarterbacks, like what were we going to do? A lot of us wanted Bo Nix, including myself. Some wanted J.J. McCarthy. Some, by some miracle, wanted Drake May, but I knew that was unrealistic as hell. But the Broncos, they took Bo Nix, started this, and then, this class, this free agency class, we took what? Who do we have? We took Josh Reynolds. We signed Brandon Jones. We signed Zach Allen. Well, no, Zach Allen wasn't last year. It was the season before, but yeah. But we did sign Brandon Jones, though, last season. Yeah, I wanted Bo Nix as well. I'm like, that's my dude. Oregon somewhat has a solid history of quarterbacks. I mean, Mariota was good before he became washed, when he was with the Titans. And we all know what Justin Herbert is, even though he's a fucking fraud in the playoffs. But Bo Nix, yeah, we took him. What else? I'm trying to think. But that's really it. The free agency, like all we had was like Josh. We only took guys like Josh Reynolds. Fucking boy, it was funny that season. It really was funny. It was so funny. But it is what it is. JJ McCarthy. Yeah, I didn't want McCarthy. I don't like Michigan quarterbacks. And don't give me Brady. No, that's one in literally every few generations. Every couple generations, you find somebody in the 6th round like that. But the Broncos, yeah. First game, lose to the Seahawks. 26-20. Couldn't stop the run. The defense was fucking carving up that fucking Geno Smith, and we still lost to that motherfucker. Bo Nix wasn't good. He threw 2 inexcusable picks. Like, that was bad, man. Then the next week against the goddamn Steelers. Man. Such a boring-ass game. Losing that game fucking 13-6. Losing to the Steelers for the 3rd straight time. I hate losing to those guys. God, I don't like the Steelers. Fuck them. Then we lose that game. Bo Nix looking like crap. He has 4 interceptions with no touchdowns. First two games, and then fucking Bronco fans themselves, some of them, not you, fucking saying Bo Nix is already a bust. I'm like, will you shut up? Then the Tampa game. Then the Tampa game. Oh man, Bo Nix was just carving up Tampa. The run game was good. Defense had like 7 sacks on Baker Mayfield, only giving up the touchdown. Oh man, what an awesome game by Bo, man. Like you can't even deny that. And then fucking the Jets. Oh God. And then the Jets game. Oh my God. Don't even. No. Fucking Bo Nix only having like 60 yards passing, and all of that was to Cortland Sutton, including the only touchdown in that game. And then Aaron Rodgers, and then we thought, oh, we're finna lose again to the Jets. But no, Greg the Leg, you're my hero. He missed the kick. Fuck Hackett. Fuck Aaron Rodgers. Fuck Robert Saleh. All those guys were running their mouths for the past couple seasons to the Broncos. They can go fuck themselves. Sauce Gardner as well. Surtain's way better. It's been established. I'm going to get to that in a sec. Oh, man. It was just... Man, that game was such a fucking boring and stressful game for the Broncos. Like, I think we can all agree to that. Like, wouldn't we agree to that? Because I don't even know, man. That game was just, ugh. And then, the next week against the Raiders... oh, man, that was so fucking awesome blowing out those motherfuckers. But, man, if it wasn't for that PS2 pick 6, the Raiders would have scored again because they were driving downfield on us. But, man, after that pick 6, the Raiders couldn't do shit. And the Broncos just kept carving them up. Oh, man, that was so awesome to finally beat those motherfuckers. Like, fuck that team. And then we improved to 3-2. And then the next week, fucking receivers can't catch, defender... Fucking nobody could defend J.K. Dobbins, and we end up losing the goddamn Chargers 23-16. I'm like, really, man? Like, we just come off that great game against the fucking Raiders, and we just shit it up against the goddamn Chargers? Like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck, man? And then the very next week on Surtain, even though without Surtain, we whooped the fuck out of the Saints. The Saints, Sean Payton's homecoming. Well, I'm like, we better beat the Saints because they're dog shit. Fucking Spencer Rattler, no Chris Olave or Shaheed. Like, no. And we did. We blew them out. And now we're 4-3. And then 1, 2, Yeah, we're 4-3, and then we play the Panthers, and we blew them, and we beat the shit out of them. We were 5-3, and then we're all good, and the Panthers, and then we fucking go to Baltimore, and we get our fucking butt raped, 41-10. Like, defense could not stop Lamar once. The only Bo Nix threw an interception that wasn't his fault because fucking LJH is a bitch, and then we don't do anything. Like, Bo Nix had the only touchdown. It was a trickery touchdown from him and Sutton. Like, after the interception, we only had one stop in that whole game, and that was the first Lamar drive when John Franklin Myers sacked them. Other than that, because Bo Nix, it was 17-10 right before halftime, and he didn't touch the ball again until it was 31-10. I'm like, yeah, you can't fucking stop Lamar. Ugh. Just awful. That was so bad against the Ravens. And then against the fucking Chiefs, we were the better team. Fucking sacking the shit out of Patrick Mahomes. And you would not believe that fucking field goal block. Like, I could not believe that shit. That just, everything died in me when that happened. Because we were the better team. And we still fucking lost to Kansas City. Like, when you think about it, we should have swept those motherfuckers. But no, the fucking field goal block because Alex Forsythe fucking couldn't block. Oh, man, I just wanted to die after that. Well, I didn't want to die, but that was terrible. And then the next week, Bo Nix has his best game of his career against the Falcons. Boy, the Falcons, they couldn't do shit against us. Boy, Kirk Cousins was awful. We killed them, man. First time since fucking, 2008 when we beat the fucking Falcons. And that was Matt Ryan's rookie year. I was wrong. I'm like, okay, it wasn't just the Falcons owning it. It was just Matt Ryan owning us because he beat us that time with the Colts in that worst Thursday night game of all time. And then next week, Raiders on the road. We were struggling at first, but we closed the game out. Got after Gardner Minshew. That pick from Brandon Jones was crucial. It changed the tide. Bo Nix, that's when Bo Nix got that back fracture, That's when Bo Nix got that traverse fractures in his back. That's when he started playing through it. And we swept the Raiders. Yes, sir. Boy, that was so awesome, sweeping those motherfuckers so they can shut up. And then the Monday night game against the Browns, it was fucking Jerry Jeudy's Mickey Mouse homecoming when he had over 200 yards receiving. Like, I don't care. He can have fucking a bajillion yards in one game. If he still loses, it doesn't matter. All right, but he was letting fucking, Levi Wallace got fucking butt raped. You know that Philip Gaines meme where he gave up all those yards with the Chiefs? Yeah, that. And then Levi Wallace, no, that just shows you we risked Riley Moss in that game. Because we barely won that game, 41-32. Fucking Jameis Winston throwing 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions while throwing almost 500 yards. And 2 of those interceptions were pick sixes by Nick Bonito and fucking Jaquan McMillan. We sacked him a good couple times. Bo Nix, he threw 2 picks, but that Marvin Mims touchdown was so fucking awesome. And we ended up winning that game. I'm like, fuck Jerry Jeudy, man. Fuck, I can't believe I fucking defended that fucker. God, man, I wish I could take that back. Fucking 2020 John Elway's dumbass in the deepest wide receiver class in a long time, and he still chose wrong. Could have fucking had CeeDee Lamb. Oh man, I don't even want to think. Fuck Jeudy. And then we were on a bye, and then the next week against the Colts at home, playoff implications, probably the biggest home game in the Broncos in a while. And at the start, man, it's just fucking, they could not stop Richardson. But they kept turning the ball over. And then Jonathan Taylor, him dropping the ball at that goal line literally saved us. Or else the Colts, we lose that game and the Colts probably get in. But man. Yeah, man. I don't care about Jerry Jeudy. And Bronco fans need to stop caring. They need to shut the fuck up about Jerry Jeudy, man. Fuck that dude, man. All right, he wants to run his mouth about the fans. Fuck you, bro. All right, you ain't shit. You're a jag. You're a diva. Okay, like fuck him. And Browns fans, they're gonna see he's bad. But it is what it is. It is what it is, man. And then the Colts, we get the touchdown from Nate Atkins to take the lead. And then the Colts try to do some trickery, and then boom, the Cuban missile, Nick Bonito, man. And he took it all the way back. They said it was a fumble. I consider that a pick six. And he took it back, and it basically sealed the game. And bro, man, we were fucking 8-5. I mean, no, not 8-5. Yeah, we're 8-5. I mean, not 8-5. I'm dumb. I am dumb. We weren't 8-5. We were 9-5. I'm dumb. We were 9-5, man. Oh man, we could practically taste those playoffs. All we had to do was just win one more fucking game, and then the next game against the Chargers, we're up 20 shit. 24 to fucking. We were up 21 to fucking 13. I mean, 21 to 10, 24-13, 11-point lead, and we fucking choked. Like, Herbert wasn't good, but in that second half, man, the defense crumbled. Offense couldn't move anything. Like, and then I'm like, bro, how the fuck did we choke this game? And then we get swept by the Chargers for the first time in 15 fucking years. And I guess for the Broncos, they traded, hey, we'll let you we'll let you sweep the Raiders, but in exchange, you have to get swept by the Chargers. I'm like, I guess that's how it is, I guess. But that sucked regardless. And then the next game against the Bengals, oh man, this is such a roller coaster game. Fucking T. Higgins cooking Riley Moss. The defense, they sacked the shit out of Joe Burrow. They sacked him like 6-7 times. But, Sertan, he did good against Jamar Chase. Only had about 30 catches. I mean, not 30 catches, 30 yards on him, which is sustainable. But Riley Moss, oh, God, man, he got cooked. McMillan got cooked. And then the Broncos, and in overtime, Marvin Mims, man, oh, man, he saved us. And I still stand by this decision. Sean Payton should have went for 2. I would have rather take my chance like that. But no, we fucking lose in overtime like the Broncos always do. I swear to God, I don't remember the last time the Broncos won in overtime. I think the last time the Broncos won in overtime was that fucking the Bengals. The last time they faced the Bengals. I mean, not the last time they faced it. The last time, like, they went to the playoffs that year. You remember McCarron fumbled the ball into DeMarcus Ware got it because Brandon McManus fucking shanked the absolute fuck out of that kick. Well, I'm talking about that kick was so awful. Oh, man. It was so awful that it was funny. Oh, man, that was awful. I don't even want to remember that shit. And then, T. Higgins and the Bengals are alive. I'm like, oh, my God. They better fucking beat Kansas City and their backups next week. Because if we blow that, man, that's going to be the worst collapse ever. But then we blow out the Chiefs 38-0. Because they played their backups. And we went to the playoffs for the first time since fucking 2015, 2016. Whew, man. I was like, after that, I'm like, I legit don't care what happens in the playoffs. Whatever's after making the playoffs is a cherry on top. More cherries on the top. And then, in the first drive of the game, Troy Franklin touchdown. And then after that, you know what happened. 31 unanswered points. Will Lutz missing the kick. Nobody did good. The pass rush only had 2 sacks on Josh Allen, but that's okay since that offensive line was elite. Oh, man. Fucking awful. Fucking A, man. Just. But it is what it is. And now this season, the first one, the offense looked like crap. Bo Nix throwing 2 picks. And, but we still beat the Titans because our defense was good. And then the next game, it's the opposite. Bo Nix looking sharp, but the fucking defense wants to look like fucking Swiss cheese. That was bad. And a fucking leverage call. But I blame fucking more on that on Will Lutz. If he just makes the fucking 42-yard kick, you're pushing the Colts to get the touchdown. And I know the Broncos defense sucked in that game, but they would have stopped them on that because the Indy honestly had a tough time with it. But it is what it is, man. Whew. Fucking terrible, man. Man, all those years, all those painful fucking years of after, it's like they legit sold themselves for Super Bowl 50, man. Like, what type of shit is it going to be this year? Because these division rival games, I take seriously. Like, I would love to beat the Chargers, man. I can't stand them because it's mainly because of all these Herbert stands. Like, this dude is not Jesus, okay? He's not better than Burrow. He ain't better than Mahomes. Like, Justin Herbert is legit a glorified Dak Prescott. Because we all know what he is in the regular season. But, man, in that postseason, he is a joke. Like, honestly, man, the Chargers, and I know this year, Harbaugh, we'll just have to see. It was just so bad, man. But last year was a good year because a lot of Broncos made the Pro Bowl. Bo Nix could have been in the Pro Bowl. Same with Quinn Miners, but they both declined. Yeah, because Pat Bowlen, his Alzheimer's flared up and got worse on him. But you know, you know, it takes having a good organization, like a good ownership, to really become a good team. Like when you look at all the great teams in the league, they all have one thing in common: great ownership. Like Bo Nix was bad. Big's back was bad, so he had to not show up. What? Yeah, what Bondi? What are you talking about? You talking about the time when he had those back fractures, but he, played in those games. He had the dog in him last season. And Sniper has a point. They all the great teams have great owners. Like look at the Chiefs. They have a great ownership in GM, unfortunately, and I hate to say that. The Bills, great ownership, and they have a great ownership. The fucking Ravens, they always have good ownership. Oh, the Pro Bowl, yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah. But then again, I'm glad. I'm glad he didn't go to the Pro because the Pro Bowl is not even a Pro Bowl. It's just a fucking circus show. But it's just all the great teams like the Eagles. Fucking remember when Eagles fans hated out Howie Roseman, but their ownership's good. You got to have a good ownership in GM to have a good team. Like Washington, yeah, and they finally get an ownership, and look what the fuck happened. Now they're one of those underrated teams. And the Broncos having the richest owner in the league means something, bruh. The Walton Penner Group, like, the Chiefs have been turning on Brett Veach. Oh, really, man? Really, man? Damn. Wait, but why though? Oh, okay. Well, I guess because Brett Veach hasn't really been doing good as a GM so far because he hasn't been getting Patrick Mahomes weapons, but at the same time, too, bruh. Like, you could have just kept Tyreek Hill. Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy, that's their own fault for that crap. And not Worthy. Rice shouldn't even be fucking 6 games. That should have been 12, and I would have been fine. Ugh. Like, the Chiefs, God, man, tomorrow Giants the funnest thing ever. God. If the Raiders lose to a backup Marcus Mariota, if the Chiefs lose to the Giants and the Broncos beat the Chargers, best day ever. God, man, last year, it's funny. This is funny, though, because if the Broncos would have just beat the Chiefs that one fucking time, You know, they would have been that one time off that block field goal. Don't you know they would have been the goddamn 5th seed? They would have faced the Texans, and to be honest, man, they might have won that. That Texans defense was legit, but that offensive line against us, good fucking luck. It would have been in Houston, but I would have rolled the dice. I don't think Eric Bieniemy is that good because in college, Eric Bieniemy sucks. Eric Bieniemy sucked with the Chiefs. Yeah, Eric Bieniemy, he just sucked. But yeah, Hill and Andy Reid for sure. Stephen A. got so upset, and no one. Oh, yeah, he went to Washington. Remember Eric Bieniemy? Yeah, he was with that Sam Howell team, and then he stinked. Bieniemy's not good. Eric Bieniemy wasn't good. I remember the Broncos interviewed him for head coach that one year. Remember they interviewed guys like what? They interviewed Aaron Glenn, Kellen Moore, Dan Quinn, Kevin O'Connell, Nathaniel Hackett, Luke Getsy, Jonathan Gannon, Eric Bieniemy. They interviewed all those guys, and their finalist was Nathaniel Hackett, Kevin O'Connell, and fucking Dan Quinn, and they chose fucking Hackett. Everyone knows I wanted O'Connell. Look what the fuck he's doing with Minnesota. Sure, he looks like a fraud in the playoffs, but he fucking turns anybody he's quarterback into gold. Yeah, I know, Sniper. Me too, man. Me too. And I hope to God that the Chiefs lose tomorrow. I just hate Kansas City so much, man. I don't even know what to say at that point. It's just bad. It's just bad. It's just bad. Well, I mean, they had Scary Terry. They had still had Scary Terry. They had what's the fuck her name? Yeah, but then again, that defense was just downright awful. Sam fucking Howell. Yeah, the Giants beat the Chiefs. If I'm a Chiefs fan, your season's fucking on because the Chiefs. When you think about it, this is one of the easier part of their schedule because they still got to face Buffalo. They still got to face Baltimore, but I'm convinced they're still going to be Baltimore because they own them. They still got to play Buffalo. They still got to play us and the Chargers again. They got to play the Bills. They still have to play the goddamn. They got to play and they still got to play the Lions too. All right, that's not going to be easy. And the Broncos, this stretch of the season right here, this stretch is going to determine what the Denver Broncos is because they got obviously the Chargers, then the Bengals, then the fucking Eagles. Like, they legit got to win. Jared Goff owns them. Yeah, 54-51, That was one of the greatest games, though. Oh, I was happy the Rams won. Well, the Chiefs don't have the player person they have once had. Well, their defense, like, it's really their front seven. Like, that secondary is cooked. Outside of McDuffie, who's overrated, like, their front seven solid. Guys like George Karlaftis, and Chris Jones. But on the offensive side of the ball, like Mahomes, like those weapons. And don't give me that. Oh, but Mahomes don't have weapons, dude. I don't want to hear that because that one year where right when they got rid of Tyreek Hill, Mahomes had his best statistical year when he had fucking Travis Kelce and Juju Smith-Schuster throwing the ball, and Sky Moore, who's a bust. Like, and don't give me that. You guys compared Mahomes to fucking Manning, Dan Marino, Joe Montana, Brady. Those guys made their weapons. Fucking the only generational weapon that fucking Brady had was Gronk. Edelman was not generational. He made Edelman. Wes Welker too, along with Danny Amendola. And when Amendola left Brady, he went to the Dolphins. He was garbage. He made a lot of weapons, like Scotty Miller, who's not even in the NFL anymore. Like, Joe Montana, man. Even that team before, they had Jerry Rice and all them guys, and Fred Taylor and all those guys and such and such. I mean, not Fred Taylor, John Taylor. I'm dumb. I'm thinking of the running back from the fucking Jags. But, they made their own weapons. Where's the rant at the beginning? What rant? Yeah, Tom Brady had Randy Moss, but let's be for real. Randy Moss was somewhat past his prime with the Patriots. He was still good, though. But, I was glad the fucking Patriots lost that season. Oh, man, that was funny. I'm talking about the Giants only won like 9. They only had, 9 wins that season. They went all the way to the Super Bowl. That was funny. The Patriots were favored by 11 in that Super Bowl, and they fucking lost. Because of the David Tyree catch. It's crazy because if Asante Samuel Sr. didn't drop that pick, they probably win because right after the helmet catch happened. and look, I'm going to tell you right now, ever since really Tyreek Hill left, besides that 1 year, Mahomes has gone down. Like, you can say, oh, but his weapons, whose fault is that? It's not my problem. Mahomes, like, he's 30. He's literally at the peak of his prime, and he's getting worse. Like, enough of this shit. Stephanie Vaquer won. I knew she was going to win. I'm glad she won. She's good. AJ Lee and CM Punk won. Let's go. Boy, Illinois is getting their asses handed to them by Indiana. Illinois is terrible. Boy, the Broncos, I've been on record saying ever since they've been average. But like this, I guess that might mean Andy Reid is just a fraud, like we all knew. Like, people want to say, oh, but Chiefs fans was telling me, oh man, Bieniemy's such a terrible OC. Like, why is he calling plays, not Andy Reid? And then fucking Andy Reid, like even last season, like we all know Matt Nagy's garbage. But they think all these bad plays are Matt Nagy. I'm like, bro, no. A lot of this is also Andy Reid as well. Like, that just means Andy Reid is just such an overrated offensive caller because he came from Mike Holmgren's coaching tree, and I think Sean Payton came from Bill Parcells. But man, all right, the Chiefs are if they lose, their season is over. Okay, if they lose, their season's fucked. No, I don't think any. Like, I'm sorry. And the Broncos, Sean Payton, his ego has got to stop with this personnel. Like, you got to keep some of the same guys on the field. I know you want to change the personnel, but at the same time, too, man. I'm glad Troy Franklin's looking good, but you got to get Sutton more involved. He's supposed to be the supposedly number one. And when Evan Ingram comes back next week, most likely, because it's a long week, because it's a Monday night game, you have got to get him involved. The run and tell you got to get RJ Harvey more involved, too. Like, the Chiefs, man, for once, I want a team to win the Super Bowl that I actually don't give a damn outside of the Broncos. The last team to do that was the goddamn Rams. That was like the first ever Super Bowl in my lifetime. I did not care who won. I swear I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. Because remember, I am not. I'm not even joking, bro. That was the only Super Bowl that, for the first time, I didn't care who won because I would have been happy. Because every year it seems like every fucking Super Bowl I have to root against like the Patriots or Kansas City. Except the Packers. No, I wanted the Packers to win that Super Bowl. I hated Pittsburgh. I hated Pittsburgh. But the times against the Giants, the Saints. Okay, I really didn't care. I really didn't care. I'll give them that. But I was a little too young for that one. But at the same time, yeah, still I don't care. The Broncos. Against the Ravens, I wanted the Niners to win that shit because I fucking hated Baltimore. But nope, they lost. McNabb, yeah, Donovan McNabb, pretty overrated by Eagles fans. And then you got the damn and the 43-8 shit. Seahawks fans to this day still talk about like I don't give a fuck about that. We won a Super Bowl 2 years later. God, man, Seahawks fans are so annoying. And we play them next year in Denver. We play them next year in Denver, man. I hope we whoop their ass. Because next year we play the NFC West and the AFC West. I'm trying to think. Oh man, Seattle and the Patriots. Man, I hated that Super Bowl. But I hated that. I didn't care who won because I hated both. I hated the Patriots so bad, and I hated the Legion of Boom. But 1 yard lines, Pete Carroll bullshit. And then there was obviously us, and then the next Super Bowl, the fucking Falcons. I wanted them to win. We all know what happened on that. I can't. But that's when I started being. That's really when I started being convinced was the Super Bowl was rigged. But then the very next year, Philly, they beat the Patriots. Good story. I'm like, good job. Super Bowl 53. Super Bowl 53, I didn't care who won. I didn't like the Rams or the Patriots because the Rams, they shouldn't even have went to that Super Bowl. And the Patriots, I was glad they beat the Chiefs, though. That's for damn sure. And then the next year, the Niners, I wanted the Niners to win, but the fucking 10-point lead in the middle of that fourth quarter bullshit. Then Super Bowl 55, Tampa whooped that, put some belt to ass on Mahomes. Thank you, Tom Brady, again. Super Bowl 56, I didn't care because I was happy with both teams. The Rams or the Bengals. Rams for Von Miller and Matthew Stafford. And then the Bengals, Joe Burrow. I love Joe Burrow. I liked him in college, even though he went to LSU. And then the very next season, fucking the Eagles. I wanted the Eagles to win, but nope, phantom holding call. Then the season next, the Niners again, and they fucking blew another 10-point lead, man. Like, oh. Then last season, the Chiefs trying to go for the 3-peat, and they get blown out by the Eagles. Thank you for that. Like, this year, man, can it for once be somebody I don't mind? Like, if you want me to be honest, man, I want somebody like the fucking Bills or the Lions to win a fucking Super Bowl. Somebody who hasn't won a Super Bowl like the Bills or the Lions. I don't want Ravens to win shit because I'm sick of Lamar. I'm sick of Lamar stands. Oh. Yeah, that Rams Patriots. I didn't watch that Super Bowl. I heard it was one of the worst rated Super Bowls of all time because, dude, it was 3-0 at halftime, and then the halftime show was dead shit. Like, it was Maroon 5, Big Boy, and Travis Scott. And no disrespect to Maroon 5, they're a good band, but that Super Bowl was unorganized because it wasn't even supposed to be Maroon 5. It was supposed to be like Jay-Z and Drake in that Super Bowl, but they declined because of the fucking Colin Kaepernick, shit. But it is what it is. But it is what it is, bro. Yeah, man. Like, these refs, please keep calling everything on Kansas City. I'm like, you see what the Chiefs, you see without them refs in your pocket now, somebody else. God, man, I think this is the Bills. I honestly think this is truly the Bills' last chance. The Chiefs supposedly don't look good right now. The only team really standing in their way is Baltimore. But we all know Baltimore's cursed. But the Bills, man, if they don't win this season, that's it. They need to get rid of McDermott, all right? That's enough. Because McDermott always has a history. He's a defensive-minded guy, yet his defense is always average. Like, if it weren't for Josh Allen, he would have been fired. And the Bills love defensive-minded head coaches. Look at fucking Rex Ryan. And he was awful. Just, ugh. That was just bad by the goddamn Bills. Ugh. Hopefully the Chiefs lose tomorrow and the Broncos win. All Alex Singleton now got to do is look average, but that's asking too much apparently. Fucking lumberjack, plumber, electrician, firefighting, police officer, and pieces of shit. Anyway, it's funny. I'm one of those people where I don't like the tush push. Everybody literally just false starts at the same time, and they need to get rid of that tush push. Okay, I'm sick of it. All right, I'm sick of that goddamn tush push. That's not a football play. It needs to go. All right, just do a normal QB sneak, not that tush push, because the advantage is on the offense with everybody pushing behind. And the Broncos, they don't even tush push really. They just use a normal QB sneak. But I'm probably gonna end the stream right here, guys. It's almost at 2 hours, but I hope I see you guys again. But I'm finna end it right here. Hope you all have a good night. And I'll probably do another one, probably next weekend. Because I miss talking to you guys, even though nobody joined. It is what it is. But yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.